Windsor Castle, one of the most iconic royal residences in Britain, has once again become the focal point of international attention. On a crisp autumn afternoon, the gates of this centuries-old fortress opened to welcome an American president for a ceremony unlike any other. Donald Trump, President of the United States, was received by King Charles III with an honor guard described by the Ministry of Defense as the largest ever mounted for a state visit. This is not just protocol, not just pageantry. It is an unmistakable message about the enduring relationship between two nations that, despite turbulence, continue to call their bond special. The images are extraordinary. Carriages drawn by horses roll across the cobbled courtyard. The British national anthem plays. Trump sits beside King Charles, the monarch leaning slightly toward him, offering words through the carriage window. It is the kind of moment choreographed to the second, crafted not only for those present, but for the millions around the world watching live broadcasts. As they step down and begin to inspect the honor guard, the symbolism deepens. The guard is immense. Ranks upon ranks of British soldiers standing at attention. The size itself tells a story. Britain is rolling out its grandest welcome in living memory. It is a spectacle that carries political weight. For Charles, now a king still relatively early in his reign, the act of hosting a controversial American leader twice, once more than any other US president has ever been received, raises inevitable questions about neutrality. For Trump, it is another chance to project international legitimacy and to frame himself as not just a US president, but a world leader embraced by historic allies. Nearby, the royal family and the First Lady compose their own tableau. Queen Camilla speaks quietly with Melania Trump, while Prince William and Princess Catherine stand to the side, poised and watchful. The visual balance of this moment is crucial. It places the monarchy and the presidency within the same frame, a seamless blend of continuity and power, tradition and politics. These gestures may appear ceremonial, but they are carefully managed diplomatic signals. As the inspection continues, Charles and Trump move shoulder to shoulder. They pause to speak with military personnel, a reminder that beyond the pomp, shared defense remains the backbone of the Anglo-American alliance. NATO commitments, intelligence cooperation and joint deployments abroad all rest on the same foundation, being celebrated here with salutes and regimental precision. And yet, even amid grandeur, human details surface. Cameras capture Trump's hair blown back by the wind, his familiar silhouette set against the backdrop of marching soldiers and horsemen. These fleeting details go viral instantly, a reminder that in the age of global media, no image is too trivial to become a symbol. The parade continues. Mounted troops, bagpipers, and the solemn rhythm of boots striking stone. Every movement reinforces Britain's deep reservoir of ceremony, projecting discipline and history. And yet, the pageantry also serves as a stage for politics. Behind the polished brass and red tunics lies a message to rivals and allies alike. Britain still commands the ability to summon spectacle, and with it, influence. Eventually, the guard of honor disperses, the sound of pipes fading. The king and president exchange words again, leaning toward each other in hushed conversation before turning toward Windsor's great doors. Trump waves toward the press, as he always does, turning the solemnity into performance. Then the delegation, King Charles, Queen Camilla, President Trump and First Lady Melania, enters the castle, followed by William and Catherine. The visual story ends, but the political story begins. Behind those gilded walls, discussions are expected to centre on three main themes: trade, defence and crisis management. Britain, still adjusting to life after Brexit, seeks closer economic ties with Washington. Trump, meanwhile, arrives with his own agenda, balancing America's domestic concerns with opportunities for leverage abroad. At stake are trade deals that could reshape markets, defence commitments that could influence NATO strategy, and policy coordination that will ripple across global hotspots, from Ukraine to the Middle East, from the Indo-Pacific to energy security. But this visit cannot be separated from its optics. This is Trump's second state visit, an unprecedented honour. No other American president has been received twice in this way. The choice was deliberate, and it sparks debate across Britain. Critics argue the monarchy risks appearing partisan, tethered too closely to a controversial figure. Supporters, however, say the spectacle demonstrates strength, that Britain, by welcoming Trump again, underscores its indispensable place alongside the world's most powerful nation. This tension mirrors the broader complexity of UK-US relations. On the one hand, there is deep cultural and historical kinship rooted in shared language, war alliances, and values of democracy. On the other, there are frictions on climate policy, on Middle East diplomacy, on trade disputes that have tested goodwill. And yet, when the cameras roll, the spectacle of Windsor suggests unity. Observers note the deliberate involvement of the younger royals, William and Catherine. Their presence is a reminder that while the monarchy adapts, it also ensures continuity. They are the bridge between past and future, between a long-reigning queen who once embodied neutrality and a new monarch who must navigate an increasingly political world. Beyond Windsor's walls, the reaction is divided. Protests have gathered outside the castle gates. Placards denounce Trump's policies, while supporters wave American and British flags, cheering the motorcade. The debate spills into newspapers and broadcasts. Is this diplomacy, or is it politics dressed as tradition? Internationally, the visit is watched with equal intensity. European allies note the symbolism of such hospitality for a leader often at odds with the European Union. In Washington, Trump's opponents question the optics of embracing monarchy, while his supporters hail it as evidence of his global stature. Meanwhile, rivals in Moscow, in Beijing, in Tehran interpret the spectacle through their own strategic lenses. The scale of the honor guard matters here. Britain has staged the largest military welcome in modern history for a foreign leader. Such scale is not accidental. It is designed to project seriousness, to show that Britain values this partnership, and to remind the world that soft power can be displayed with swords, horses, and ancient castles as much as with treaties. Critics of King Charles argue that such a move risks breaking with his mother's long-held practice of strict neutrality. Queen Elizabeth II, though she met countless leaders, was careful never to appear aligned with one above the other. Charles, by contrast, has now welcomed Trump twice, more than any other US president. Is this pragmatism in a shifting world, or is it an unguarded step into political symbolism? That debate will echo long after the red carpets are rolled away. The visit also highlights the enduring role of optics in global diplomacy. Photographs of Charles and Trump side by side will circulate in history books. The military pageantry will be replayed in news packages, and the image of Windsor Castle, medieval stone walls standing firm as leaders face modern crises, becomes a metaphor for resilience. Ultimately, this day is about more than carriages and trumpets. It is about the choreography of international relations. It is about Britain reminding the world of its cultural gravitas, and America reminding allies that it remains central on the global stage. For Trump, it is another act in the theatre of politics, one he embraces with characteristic showmanship. For Charles, it is a delicate balancing act between heritage, symbolism, and the modern demands of diplomacy. As night falls over Windsor, the ceremonial events give way to state banquets, private talks, and negotiation sessions shielded from public view. Yet the images of the day will remain, images of power and ceremony, of controversy and tradition, of an alliance displayed in its most theatrical form. The world will debate whether the monarchy should stand above politics or lean into the realities of international diplomacy. But for today, Windsor Castle has sent its message loud and clear. The Anglo-American relationship, whatever its complexities, remains alive, ceremonial and central.